What you're about to watch today is a video of me ranting, something that has not really been done before, because I feel like just sitting and ranting in front of a computer, it's not very productive. I have better things to do with my time. But I think I need to talk about this issue that has plagued the fandom since the beginning. I I wasn't active in the fandom until 2013, but I started, looking at Thomas videos back in 2009 and sort of became like a unactive member, if you know what I mean. I wasn't like uploading anything, but I was, kind of a member. And ever since then, this problem has been there. I've experienced it many times myself. And now it's gotten to the point where it's just angers me so much. And so, it's no secret that a lot of people label the fandom as toxic or whatever. It seems that people think the biggest problem are, people going like, oh, when's the model gonna be released? Or, oh, give me this. Or, oh, that's not fair. Why do you have this model for your own, but you don't give it to anyone else? Just what they call gimme pigs. And I want to stress that I am not in any way condoning that sort of behavior. I am not condoning constantly pestering people. I am not condoning stealing models and redistributing them. And I am certainly not condoning telling a member of a website to go suck their balls. I mean, I think you all know who I'm talking about, but what did you expect? But I'll get to that issue later. So yeah, and I think, and I also want to add that, having autism or Asperger's or depression or whatever, it's not an excuse at all for this sort of behavior. That being said, I think that the biggest issue on this fandom is just how goddamn cruel people are to the younger fans. I have seen relentless bullying of children in this fandom. And, if they did something out of line, that's a different story. But even then, I don't condone bullying. Proper actions must be taken. But that's not the issue. I'm talking about kids who are just, having fun on YouTube, putting up their own stuff. Some of them are quite talented, actually. More talented than some of the adult fans. And yet, how do I describe this? For example, a few months ago, I was on Twitter, and I came across this collage of many different fans, all who I presume were all children, because I know at least one of them was. And the caption was, "The Cringe Corner." Do you know how messed up that is? These children are not doing anything wrong. They're just having fun on the internet. Now, of course, there's the argument children shouldn't really be on the internet, and I do agree with that, but some of them are. Just deal with it. But the thing is, the people in this fandom are just so mean to them. I'll tell you, if I found something like that with me in it when I was like 8 years old, you do not know how much that would affect me. I mean, the effects would be catastrophic for an 8-year-old to be bullied like that. This is just pure cyberbullying. And that's not even the worst of it. I've seen many videos uploaded mocking these child users. It's just, to people who are doing this, do you feel happy with yourself at the end of the day, making fun of children like that? Yeah, have you really got nothing else to do? And it's not just children. People always attack, the autistic users and, people with disabilities. And okay, I just want to say that the joke that was going around on Twitter, that's a completely different thing, I'm talking about people who are being attacked when they're doing nothing wrong, just uploading their stuff, having fun, and being mocked relentlessly on YouTube. Seriously, if you did that in real life, you'd probably get slapped the shit out of you. My question is just why? What do you gain from it? But, bullies are one thing. They're definitely, a big problem with this fandom. But, it's not just the bullies, I feel, that contribute to this. how do I put this? People need to realize that kids are kids. And, again, I do not think kids should be on the internet, but, some of them are, and you're just going to have to deal with it. And, I'll just give my personal experience. I was like, this was like 2009, I was still a kid, and I was making my own private trains videos, and, occasionally I'd ask for help on YouTube, or like, oh, where did you get this, or where did you get that? And, some of the times they were pretty polite, just saying, like, no, it's not for download. But what angers me the most is when a child who doesn't know anything about the internet, and this is assuming it has not been stated in the description or whatever, it angers me very much when a child asks, where can I get this model, and in return is called a dipshit. And that is exactly what happened to me. And I honestly don't remember who it was, but do you get how insulting that would be to a child? All he asked, he didn't do it out of, extreme need of the model. He was just curious. And to be called a name like that, it's just messed up. I think the problem is people expect everyone to know all these unwritten rules and all that. And, in one way, yes, you should respect people's content and, don't pester people about it. But that's not the issue. All I had done was asked a question. I had no idea about all these, unwritten rules in the trains community. I had no idea. It just really angers me, when it's not just trains users. Sometimes I go on, I see artwork people's made. Someone writes down, oh, can you do this? Just, simple request. And, they get called a bossy bitch in return. What I'm trying to emphasize is, you don't have to be super ultra nice about it. Just be respectful. And, it's still a problem to this day. I still see it, kids, who have no idea what a forum is or whatever. They just ask, like, I need help with this or whatever. And the responses are usually, like, putting them down or, like, accusing them of being, greedy. Basically, when kids ask you, like, when is this going to be released, or when can I have this, or where can I get it, you gotta understand that most of them aren't trying to be annoying, or, they're not trying to be greedy. They're just curious, and they admire your work. Now, again, that's, not an excuse to be, a complete ass about it and, keep pestering people, but... So, in conclusion, just don't be dicks to the young fans. That's all I can say. And, one thing I guess everyone wants me to talk about is, Sodor Island 3D shutdown. And I have mixed thoughts about that, to be honest. On one hand, I totally understand where they're coming from, After being, disrespected all these years, it would make people angry. That being said, I don't think they realize how many of us actually did support them and respect them, myself included. Just think, where would I be without them? I know they don't owe us anything. By God, they don't. But at the same time, they've given so many people a very simple way of displaying their creative abilities. And if I were them, I would just stop producing content, but just, leave the site open. But that's what I would do. I'm not them. I will say I strongly disagree with their decision, but it is what it is. I think we just need to just sit and wait and see what happens and just move on if we have to. It's not like 2009 where they were the only producers of Thomas content. There are way more. Mainland Studios has great models. He released 2 of them yesterday, and Sodor Workshops also released 2 models. The hard thing is, someone's going to have to recreate the routes, or the Island of Sodor route. And then all those assets that we relied so heavily on, the buildings, the bridges, just all those objects. I will say I strongly disagree with their decision, but it is what it is. It's going to be difficult, but I think we'll pull through. Thomas and Trains is not over. trust me on that. There are many other talented people working on, this content. And, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. There's this big issue that's been plaguing this community for so long, and I felt like I needed to raise awareness for it. But, unlike most people, I believe the majority of this fandom are, well intending people. And yeah, I respect you all who follow the rules and play nicely. I have high respect for you all. And that's pretty much all I have to say. I